For sale, baby shoes, never worn. That's the first time I heard that story was in college. It's a story written by Ernest Hemingway. It's actually the shortest story ever written. I was already a parent, so for you parents in the room, you may have gotten some chills, grew some hair back, leg hair back. And for those of you who may not be parents, you might be thinking, a bargain, right? Just depends on your experiences, right? Organ, tissue, and eye donation was the same for me. I knew what it was. I knew it was amazing. I knew that life finds a way. I knew you had donors, you had recipients, and you had options in between. On May 17th, 2019, it was a day like any other. It was actually a Friday. I had 3 kids in high school, in the same high school. Poor high school. We came downstairs, got our coffee. I did Mr. Coffee. Mikey did some motor oil stuff, like an espresso thingy. And we talked about the day. He said, Mom, I'm gonna get my cap and gown today. And I'm gonna have my graduation tickets. I think we're getting 10. And I was like, you know, we got a big family, bro. So you might wanna ask for some more tickets. And put his helmet on, buckled it, cheeks, you know, like this. Hey Mom, gotta go. Helmet up, zipped up, out the door he goes. See you later, Mom. And that was the last time I ever spoke to my son. Organ donation meant something very different to me as I was sitting at UMC in Quiet Room 1, all by myself, and having absolutely no clue what was going on behind those double doors. Family started to come in, surrounded by people that were your support system. These are people that got you through anything and everything. And there was absolutely nothing that anybody in that room could do for me. I had to go inside myself and see what I was made of. Very shortly after we arrived, I would say it was about maybe 2 hours, we were invited back to the emergency room and I got to see Mikey. And organ donation meant something very, very different to me. On May 22nd, we had Michael's honor walk. I stood at the head of the bed, my children, Michael's 3 other siblings behind me, Mikey's dad. We had a doctor that was operating the ambu bag, and we headed down the hall. I looked up, and there were myriads of people standing at attention, honoring the choice that my son made to become an organ, tissue, and eye donor. I had 8 minutes from the time we left his hospital bed, his room, till we got to the operating room. I had 8 minutes. What was I gonna do with those 8 minutes? I stood there and walked with this amazing human that I had 18 years with. I don't know if he ever would have got married. I don't know if he ever would have had kids. But I do know who he was, and I did have 18 years to celebrate. I also celebrated, at the time, we learned that there were 7 lives that my son was going to save. Double lungs, both kidneys, pancreas, liver, heart, ocular, enhancing the lives of so many through tissue. When we got to the operating room, we said our goodbyes. knowing that on the other side of the doors, there were 6 transplant teams ready to recover a life-saving organ. Realizing the impact that that decision had on not only the recipients, but their families, their community. That is what organ donation means. That's what organ donation does. The impact is a ripple that is immeasurable. And something I talk about a lot is organ donation is a place where grief and gratitude can occupy the same space. Sure, I miss him every single day. Absolutely every single day. Every time I hear a motorcycle rumble, my soul is Mikey home. We've got a couple riders on our street. It never fails. It never fails. And the message that I really, really want to leave you with today, because everyone in this room has the power to change a life, and not just one, but so many. There are over 650 people in Nevada, and that is a low number. Chances are it's probably double that. They have absolutely no way to receive a life-saving organ here except kidneys, and that's sometimes. With all of the life-sustaining services that all of you work so hard for, and even some life-enhancing. I mean, you get a nip and you get a tuck. I mean, it's Vegas, right? With the most basic of right being life, if we can't provide that, what are we doing? Like, really, what are we doing? For families who are needing a life-saving organ, they have to travel out of state. And for a lot of families, uprooting and splitting each other apart, dropping careers. I know personally, because I am in pediatric hospice, we have several children waiting on the transplant list. They have to choose paying bills, staying together as a family, or uprooting and trying to find the closest transplant center, and even then, they may not get it because our benefits here, especially if you're on state insurance, is not the most helpful. I'm just saying. So I urge all of you, please, just like the story at the beginning, it may not mean much to you now, but for the families like mine, families that are waiting on the transplant list, you do have the power to change that. And please, 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 do what you can to make this happen. We all deserve the most basic, which is life. Thank you so much for coming today.